Yo, welcome to the V2 Temple audio board. This is the Duo 24. The last video was the Duo 17. This one has a little bit bigger of a profile so I could fit the Seymour Duncan power amp. I think I mentioned in the last video that I was going to go with the Temple Audio power amp that was like 100 watts stereo. It was out of stock for I don't know how long, so I just went with the Seymour Duncan. It was the safest bet at the time, and it hasn't let me down. It's great. So yeah, let's get into it. And everything gets packed up into this lovely SKB case. It looks upside down, but it's not. It's very confusing. That's why I have the green right there so that I know which way to open it. But this case is sick. It's a roller, so it stands up like that. Got that little handle right there. I get it on stage, drop this baby down, and then I open it up. Packs down real nice and tight, like doesn't move, nothing like that. Once it's closed, it is very sturdy. These cases are sick. Pelican is way too fucking expensive. Buy something like this that's actually made for instruments. If you have the money to spend on a Pelican, go for it. It's probably got better foam, but these are sick. It's doing the job great. First off, we're gonna go to the quad Cortex, and I'm just gonna show you pretty much what I'm using right now. So ever since I've gotten this thing, I've tried different things like the 5150, which I'm a huge fan of. A lot of people use the 5150 heads on these modelers. All the models on this thing are insane, but what I'm using and what I've found best is I have a capture of an actual Fortin Nameless head, the famous Meshuggah head, and man, I'll tell you, this thing is wild. It's very high gain, so you could do so much stuff. It just has so much headroom. So I have that with a Grind 75, which is also a popular pedal for the I think it's the Gojira amps and the Fortin Nameless. And for my HM2, like just chaos tone, I have this Cathedral capture, and this thing is crazy. It just makes my guitar sound like it's in war and fighting. It's wild though. Angel Seasons, he was previously in Dealer. He's in Pincer Plus, a couple of other Australian bands. Dude's awesome, knows his tones, sick. See, and that's pretty much all I'm using for my main actual, just like tones. I don't really do too much except for the HM2 distorted crazy chainsaw shit during breakdowns. And for my cabs that I'm using, I use impulse responses, and they're not the cabs that are on the actual quad Cortex. These were bought and downloaded, but they're the Lance Prince ice cream scoop. It's just insane. I don't know, that's the best one that I picked for this tone, and I just started using this recently, and it's ripping so far, so we'll see. Next is the Shure GLX 10 Plus, I believe. That's an upgraded wireless. I had the Line 6 before. It worked great. I had that thing for like 15 years, and it just it still worked. I just sold it on Reverb, and I wanted to upgrade this because it was a better fit for the board. You have this little input right here, so just in case the wireless goes down, knock on wood, it's never happened. So I usually do run front of house, and I run a cab on stage. a 412 orange cab with V30s, and this is the Seymour Duncan Power Stage 200. It's mono, it's not the stereo version. Most of my stuff is ran mono, so I'm okay with that. It has a good bit of headroom. Sometimes it's a little hard to push. I'd say like the 16 ohm cabs, because they take a lot. So keep in mind that if you do have this and you run an orange cab, you're cutting your power in half whenever you go over ohms. So if you run 8 ohms, this will be 200. If you're going 16 ohms, like your standard orange cab, then you would be at about 100 watts on this thing. But it still pushes pretty well. It's loud. My only complaint about this thing is this big ass power cord right here, and for the fact that Temple Audio needs to make these boards to where this part right here, here, and here are open. So if you take off this panel right here, you could run cables, like big cables like this. You can't run them through these holes. So Temple Audio, if you're watching your next build, please make this to where you can open this so you could put these big IEC cables through here, because we can't fit them unless we do custom cables, or you run it through the hole like that. And that works for me, but it would be a lot cleaner if it could go through that. Next will be Backtrack station. So we don't run actual Backtracks. So what we actually do, what I do, at least in my band Ritual Killer, is we run sub drops on here and we run samples on here. So we'll have like an intro, and then in between songs or whichever I have time for, I'll come down here and switch. My goal is to actually get like a foot switch around here or something to where I could switch these samples without having to actually bend down and press the button as so. But I mean, it works out. There's been a couple of times where I forgot to do it and I'd have to like ring out and bend down, and whenever I do that, I just hit my gate off like that, and I could do that, or I could hit the freeze and it'll make some noise or whatever. So it is what it is, but we're very organic, so it works out pretty well. Okay, so how I actually have this ran so that it's super easy for front of house. So I have this going out samples into the input of sub drops, out of the sub drops to a DI box underneath here, which is right here underneath the pedal board, through 1/4 inch in through XLR, and then it comes out here, and then it goes to an XLR out, so that I could plug that to front of house, which is also next to my speaker cab, which would be right here. That would go to my speaker, and that goes to the power amp. And then this XLR mod is my guitar to front of house. But I usually run mono, so I just run here and here, those two XLRs, and then to cab. And I have that all on a loom that I'm actually making right now, so that it's just one cohesive cable. Now, my cable management is not the greatest, but yet it is cable management. I bought this 4X mod right here to use for a speaker cab. It's not really doing anything right now. It's just kind of there just to fill the space. Maybe I'll use it. But so this is the DI box that's mounted underneath here. A little cheap Behringer DI box, works great. DC7 is all of the power. Runs the wireless, runs the quad that goes to the crux that goes to the quad. And most of these cables were bought on Amazon. I think that was Amazon. This is Amazon. There's no speaker cable here. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. But yeah, that'll run speaker cable tip from power amp through here, and then I'll be able to just like run that to the cabinet. But yeah, that's the V2 pedal board. Excuse my shitty cable management, but I mean, I think I did a decent job without making it look too crazy or have wires hanging out. But yeah, any questions, let me know. Feel free to ask in the comments. And hopefully I'll do a gear rundown of the guitars that I'm using as well. And